Hello everybody and welcome again to my messy room. It's not any cleaner. I fully admit it, it is still a mess. But we are back because we are going to be doing some more Porsche Esports Supercup sim racing because there's been a lot going on in this series since we last talked. And now they're heading into the final round of Monza. Now Monza is a speed circuit. These things will be bullets around here. Rather than go for lap times today because I'm not as familiar with Monza in iRacing, we are going to do some setup work. We're going to explore the setup work. We're not even going to look for a lap time or a target. We're going to play around with some of the settings that I think will help these guys in Monza. Some stuff that you guys can look out for. First things first, I'm wearing my gloves this time, all right? You got to go fast. You want to go fast, you got to use the gloves. That's Esports 101 right there. All right, here we go, Monza. I know that my optimal says a 152 is probably possible, but we're just working on setup and getting a feel for the car. I'm not super good at Monza on sim. It's laser scanned, as all the tracks are in iRacing, which means it's dead accurate, and there are a few bumps that keep catching me out in the braking points. Oh man, I forgot you can't really trail brake the Porsche much at all. So the car feels okay. We're a little bit off our optimal. So let's try... Wow! Let's try missing my braking point. Man, oh man, I'm bleeding time according to this. All right, let's go in. Right now, we want to work on setup. So, a couple of things that these guys will do, a couple of things that they will try to improve in this car. Despite being relatively rounded and well-shaped, they still have a big surface area to push through the air with. So, we've got to consider that. And to do that, we are going to jump into the chassis setup and grab the wing and drop it right down to 1. Now, I think that's probably going to be way too extreme. But let's just try it. Let's just go out and give it a go. So now we'll see how we do on straights. We'll see how this makes the rear of the car react. And you guys can get a sense for the extremes. So even though I don't think 1 is probably accurate, it might be. I don't know. Maybe these guys will run some different caster and camber to compensate. But we'll get an immediate indication of what a setup change really does in these cars. Already the car feels quicker out of the pits. I don't know if that's just me placebo effect or what, but... Oh, yeah, she snaps a bit. Okay, so she's a little lighter. Try to balance it with the throttle there a little bit. That didn't quite work out for me now, did it? A bit slower out of the corner. Ah, now we're flying in the straight lines. We lost a little bit of stability on entry, though. But this is definitely better. We've made a step in the right direction by lowering the wing. Ah, a bit too deep on the brakes, I'm afraid. God damn. I don't understand what I've changed, but apparently with the wing, we cannot brake in a straight line. Let's abandon this already because it's gonna get frustrating and it's gonna take hours. So let's go back in and immediately we're gonna go back into the chassis, pump that wing back up. I'm thinking let's go down. Let's let this car squat at speed in the back. Now, the other thing that I know that these guys will do is play with pressures. Obviously, a track like Monza is a speed track, and if you think about a tire surface area, the more air inside of it, more sag the tire has, the more drag it's going to have as well. So you can use inflation to work with speed, but that's not really something you're going to do in a race car. You're going to look more toward your temperatures inside, outside, caster, camber, that kind of thing to make sure it's right. But these guys will run different tire pressures strictly for those temperatures in the race versus qualifying, and in doing so it gives them more grip or more tire life throughout the course of the race. So what these guys will do in the race is actually start with the tires lower, believe it or not, on Monza, and what that means is that they have more time to let the tire expand, and the heat and inflation won't actually wear the surface area as much. The other cool thing that they'll do is play with the camber to give it more turn-in on the front. So we're going to play with the toe first and foremost, and we'll bring that in a bit, and then camber will add a bit more. Oh, that camber's so much better on entry. I'm not carrying as much through the middle of the corner, but the initial turn-in is freaking splendid. This is one good setup already. This is one good change that we've made. So Happy with that. We made sort of 3 little changes. Lesmo 2 feels much nicer. I'm still not getting it right, but it feels much nicer. And again, we're not looking for the lap times tonight. We're looking for feel. These guys are all so skilled. Woo, drift. These guys are all so skilled at this level that any advantage you can get is massive. So, yeah, super, super important to get the setup right. Get it dialed. We're not doing a ton of high-speed direction changes on Monza. The 2 chicanes are relatively low speed, so it's not the most important thing for those roll bars to be snappy. Instead, it's better to have the high-speed stuff get the grip and really dig into the tire. It's funny, it gives you an X for both of the AstroTurf sections in Lesmo, but you can take that whole curb and then the adjoining Monza Junior cut through and get no penalty for it. Man, oh man. Braking in these things is the hardest. The hardest. That's what makes these guys so good, surely. How to misbrake for the Parabolica with Matt. Title of this video should be is, how many times will Matt mess up his braking point for the same corner? Apparently a lot. We need to get down to a 52. That's what we're aiming for. Now that we got the car dialed in a little more, now that things are feeling better, let's get it down to a 52. Keep it off the wall. Whew, that was close. Thank God you don't pay for cars in iRacing. Well, you do pay for cars in iRacing, but you know what I mean. Don't lift. Awesome, fun. Okay, let's try some more changes because quite frankly, we should change the driver if we want any chance of improvement tonight, it seems. Fuel level, let's take that down just for the sake of it. Ooh, I know what I could do. Rear ride height. So let's lower the rear of the car and it'll make us a little faster on the straights again. And that'll also help. So wing down, lowered rear. I like that. Wing down, lowered rear. That should give us a little more speed on the straights. Might give us a little less forgiveness on the curbs, but let's go for it. I'm already doing 200 kilometers an hour right now. That's pretty impressive acceleration. All right, here we go. Looking for the 52. So we can end the night on a high. The draft in this is going to be insane this weekend. I can't wait to watch it because, man, oh man, these guys are going to be on it. Come on. Whew, I was fighting the car. I had to wait so long to get back on the throttle. Shit, rev limiter. This is a good lap too. And there's so much more in it. Car just feels hooked right now. Setup's working. We definitely got something going on right. We got this, we got this. Tiny lock on the way in and made me go so wide. I had to correct. Hold on. Don't get out there on the X. I think this is it. 52.6. There we go. That's better. All right. I said it wasn't about lap time tonight. It's not. There's still so much more available in the car. In fact, let's go for one more. That's an X. Ah! Oh, I'm trying. This is a big spin. Keep the foot in it. I think we better call it there. I think we've done enough there. There you go. I hope you guys get an impression of what setup can do, because as you can tell when we started, car was drivable. That's what the baseline is intended to be. But it wasn't perfect, and it was quite nervous on turn-in, a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish. So then I had to change the car to match me, and likewise the circuit, because Monza is a speed circuit first and foremost, so the less wing, the less drag you have, the better. And then you can lower the rear of the car so you really vacuum the air out from underneath of it, and it all helps. We played with the camber and the toe in the front. I thought that was excellent. I thought the car was far more responsive at turning in for some of the lower speed corners, especially the two first chicanes. And you can see there's so many more things you can do, and there's so many more settings even within the ones that we changed. Going into the final weekend, the top four, that's a spread of 65 points. That's how close this series is. That's how close the Porsche Esports Supercup is. So check it out this weekend. It's 1400 GMT on Saturday, and you can watch it on YouTube. And it's as close as any racing you're gonna find anywhere in the world, and every bit as exciting. I'll see you there on Saturday.